Welcome to the deep dive. You've sent us your sources, articles, linguistic analyses, all kinds of notes. And our mission today is, well, it's tailored precisely for you.
Hmm.
We want to elevate your understanding of descriptive language.
Right. We're not just, summarizing definitions here.
No, we're figuring out how certain words can act as these powerful, really efficient tools, how they take immediate sensory data and just turn it into this persistent, evocative atmosphere.
That is the absolute core of this deep dive. We're trying to move beyond just saying, this smells good, or, that was loud.
Exactly.
Instead, we're exploring this high-fidelity language that connects physical input directly to memory, to emotion, and to a setting.
It's like a significant upgrade to your internal operating system for observation.
That's a great way to put it.
And we've isolated 3 specific words that accomplish this just brilliantly. They're the linguistic equivalent of, I don't know, a perfectly tailored suit.
Oh, I like that.
They look great, they fit precisely, and they convey exactly the right impression. We're talking about redolent, susurrus, and palpable.
And these are not just fancy synonyms. They are strategic shortcuts to conveying really complex experiences. So let's dive in.
Okay, let's unpack this. Our first word, it centers on maybe the most potent link between the outside world and our internal history.
Scent.
Scent. The word is redolent. That's Redolent.
And it's an adjective. Its primary definition describes something that's strongly reminiscent or suggestive of another thing, usually through its fragrance.
Right, and the sources make such a great point about why this word matters so much. It gets right into the neuroscience. I mean, every one of us has experienced this Proustian effect.
Named after Marcel Proust, of course, the Madeleine cookie.
Exactly, being transported back to childhood just by the scent of a cookie.
Precisely. And that's a cognitive nugget here. The reason redolent works so well is because our sense of smell, it kind of bypasses the thalamus. It goes straight to the amygdala and hippocampus.
The emotion and memory centers.
The emotion and memory parts of the brain. So when we say a place is redolent of our grandmother's kitchen, we're not just saying it smells like flour.
No.
We're saying that the entire emotional archive of that kitchen has just been unlocked by the scent.
It's like linguistic time travel. It's involuntary. If you just say, this smells like my past, it sounds so clinical.
Yeah, it's flat.
But if you say, the air is redolent of my past, you're painting an atmosphere. You're giving the memory an invisible vapor.
And that's the strategic use of it. It implies this much deeper, more atmospheric connection than just smelling of.
Right.
So when a source describes an old library as being redolent of beeswax and weathered leather, you immediately get the character and the age of that space.
It's a dual communication. You get the specific sensory input, the wax, the leather, and you also get the resulting psychological effect. In that example, the scent immediately calmed my mind.
Exactly. The word redolent does all that heavy lifting of connecting those two things, the physical trigger and the emotional outcome, in one neat package.
So we should probably clarify a nuance here.
Yeah, good point.
While it's rooted in scent, you do sometimes see it used metaphorically, right? Like his speech was redolent of ambition.
You do, especially in more literary circles. But, for you, the learner, if you want to use this word with maximum power, with real precision, you should anchor it back to an actual physical smell. That is where its original strength really lies.
That's a great boundary to set. So the strongest use is always sensory. Speaking of which, can it be negative? We always think of good things, baking, flowers.
Oh, absolutely. Think about walking into an old, unused room.
Okay.
You might describe the air as redolent of dust and stagnation, which immediately conveys a sense of decay, maybe abandonment.
So it's a tool that can trigger nostalgia, comfort, or this intense unease?
Yes. A high-impact, low-word count tool for narrative immersion.
Okay, so that's the ghost of scent, a smell that carries a whole memory with it. Now, what about the ghost of sound? How do you capture an auditory experience that's so quiet, it's really just part of the atmosphere, not, a noise?
That is a perfect transition, because our next word, Susurrus, captures that idea of atmospheric sound better than almost any other word in English.
Susurrus, Susurrus. And it's a noun. It means a whispering, murmuring, or rustling sound.
And what's so fascinating here is its linguistic structure. It's profoundly onomatopoeic.
It sounds like what it is.
It sounds exactly like what it is. Its Latin root is susurrare, to hum or to whisper. But just notice the continuous soft repetition of that send sound. the doubled R's. When you say the word Susurrus, you're basically mimicking the sound it describes.
You can almost feel the air escaping your mouth like a soft breeze.
Yes.
And that's exactly the kind of sound it captures. Sounds that are, pervasive but not intrusive. It's the background track of nature.
Right. We're talking about the gentle susurrus of a tide rolling over pebbles, or the continuous, delicate rustle of tall grass when the wind passes through it.
It's defined by its continuity and its softness.
Always moving, always soft.
I think we sometimes overuse words like whisper or rustle. So what's the boundary here? When is a sound too loud to be a susurrus?
That's a crucial question. A susurrus is inherently peaceful or maybe mysterious. If the sound draws your attention and forces you to listen to it, it's probably too loud.
So a scream is not a susurrus.
A scream is noise. A loud conversation is noise. A susurrus is the barely audible collective sound of many tiny actions all happening at once.
Okay, so it's often used for things that move, like air or leaves, or even the low-level hum of conversation at a gathering, where you can't make out any individual words.
Exactly. So when the sources talk about the gentle susurrus of the reeds swaying in the wind, they're giving us more than just a sound. They're giving us a sense of sheltered quiet.
Right. Contrast that with, say, the roar of the storm.
The roar dominates you. The susurrus invites you in.
It's the sound of texture, isn't it? Like when dry leaves skitters across the pavement. That's a kind of gentle auditory texture, not a single sharp noise.
That's a brilliant way to put it. It's the texture of movement. And for you listening, this is your cognitive shortcut to describing a scene's acoustic setting in one word. It immediately communicates subtlety and atmosphere.
All right. From the invisible movement of scent and the quiet movement of sound, let's move to something that feels physical, even when it isn't. Our final deep dive connects the internal world of emotion to the external sense of touch. The word is palpable.
Palpable. It's an adjective, and it describes a feeling or an atmosphere so intense that it seems almost tangible, as if you could reach out and literally touch it.
And this is where we bridge the abstract and the concrete. If we connect this to the bigger picture, palpable gives weight to invisible energy.
Right. Emotions like tension or excitement, they don't have mass.
Yeah.
But when they become palpable, we perceive them as having a physical presence.
And psychologically, this word is fascinating because it describes a shared, overwhelming emotional state.
Yeah. When one person feels tension, it's just internal stress. But when the tension in a room is palpable, it becomes externalized, it's shared. It seems to impose itself physically on everyone there.
We hear this all the time about high-stakes situations. The excitement in a stadium or the tension in a boardroom. That shared energy feels thick, like the air is charged.
It's the difference between hearing someone is angry and walking into a room where the anger feels like a wall you have to push against.
It connects that emotional state to the sense of touch. But I have to ask, because this word gets thrown around a lot.
Okay.
I see it constantly. Isn't it dangerously close to being a cliche? When does the tension was palpable just become lazy writing?
That's a perfectly fair challenge. And it helps us define its real utility.
Yeah.
It becomes lazy when it's just a generic synonym for intense. Its power comes from its literal root palpera, which means to stroke or touch gently.
Oh, that's interesting. So the root is about touch, not force?
Exactly. When you use it strategically, it has to communicate a physical effect on the body. Instead of just saying everyone was tense, you say the tension was palpable. It forces you to imagine a physical sensation.
Like shallow breathing or tightened shoulders.
Or a heaviness in your stomach. The word works best when it implies a shared physical manifestation of that invisible energy.
That completely reframes it for me. And the example from the sources is incredibly strong for this. The relief in the crowd was palpable when the rescue team finally emerged from the woods.
Think about that moment. Relief isn't quiet. It's a sudden, collective exhalation.
Yeah.
A dropping of shoulders, a shift in posture. The word palpable captures that overwhelming physical release of stress felt by hundreds of people at the same time. It communicates that shared physical change.
The physical relaxation.
Yes, that followed the emotional resolution is the ultimate descriptor of collective energy.
And once again, one word does the work of 5 or 6 lines of description. It's a powerful narrative shortcut.
It's a cognitive efficiency we've been looking for all along.
So what does this all mean for you now that we've taken this deep dive? It means you've acquired 3 high-quality tools that don't just describe the world. They describe the atmosphere of the world.
Think of it this way. Redolent is your key to unlocking atmosphere through deep memory and scent.
Right.
Susurrus captures the acoustic atmosphere of quiet mystery. detailing the environment through texture and subtle movement.
Mm.
And palpable captures the emotional atmosphere by giving invisible, collective feelings a concrete physical weight.
These words aren't just decorative, they are strategic tools for clear, concise communication. They are the definition of a shortcut to well-informed expression.
And we want you to apply this knowledge immediately. Since we've explored the intensity of feeling today, we want to leave you with a provocative thought to mull over.
Okay.
Think about a time this past week, maybe a difficult decision you had to make, or a moment of great success you were anticipating, and ask yourself, was the anticipation of that moment more redolent of hope or of fear?
Use these concepts to dissect your own experiences. Pay attention to that delicate susurrus on your next walk, and notice the next time the atmosphere in a room becomes palpable. Start noticing how much descriptive work a single precise word can do. Thank you for diving deep with us.